Hi, this is Lisa Marie Graves. Welcome. This is our first partner interview for the Men's Legacy Conference, and today I have with me Curtis Tucker with Northside Baptist Church, and I'm going to have him tell you what his title is.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. I am the community engagement pastor, and I basically my responsibilities are just to make sure the church connects to our community, the different ministries that the church is involved in around the community, different things that people in the church do out in the community. I make sure that they have the resources and the things. I'm kind of that go-between, I guess.
The liaison.
You might say. Liaison. That's a good proper word for it. And so that's what I do. I really enjoy that. It's my niche, you might say.
A little bit of your passion, very natural for you.
Yes, it is. So I'm enjoying it. It's new to me, just a few months, but I'm enjoying it.
I'm excited. This is their first year being a partner. However, Curtis has been an attendee before.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for agreeing to
welcome.
be a partner for the men's conference. This is
Very
your
welcome.
first year. The theme for the conference is Leaders Prepared for Change. It's all for our businessmen, the leaders in our community that are business owners, and helping them in preparing for change. Change is wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Yes. So I've asked our partners to give us some of their knowledge and experience, and I gave them a list of questions, and Curtis he'd like to share with you the kind of growth that he's experienced and seen in our community, Parker County. So would you share more about that?
Sure. We've been here, my family and I came here in 2001, so we've been here a little over 18 years. And have seen a tremendous amount of change during that time. When we moved here, they had just started moving ground for the new high school out on the interstate. And I think basically the only businesses that were on the interstate at that time was Home Depot and Applebee's. That was about it. So we've had the opportunity to see all of that expand out there.
What year?
In 2001.
2001, okay.
Yes. And I think Home Depot was relatively new at that point too. And from another perspective too, I've been around this area most of my life. So, and especially during the probably late 80s, early 90s, my father-in-law had a place down in Granbury. And so we lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we would drive through Weatherford a lot. And at that time, Weatherford was smaller than Mineral Wells.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so we've had that opportunity to get, even from the sidelines, to see that growth that has happened and the changes. And I think it's been great, the new businesses that have come to town. The other big change that I think has been great is to see even a lot of the local owned businesses that have either been started or have expanded, and a lot of the shops downtown, different restaurants that are owned by the local people, and to see those things prospering, and that's been great.
Yes.
And when we came here, you still kind of had to go to Fort Worth for a lot of eating out or shopping, even doctor appointments and things like that. There just wasn't that much here, and to have seen all of that begin to come together, we've really enjoyed it. I think Weatherford is a great place, and we wanted a place. We'd moved around a lot, and we wanted a place where we could put down roots. Our kids could feel like that, this is home, and Weatherford has become that.
That's exactly why we moved here as well, is we wanted to find a place to call home and know the parents and friends that our children were becoming friends with.
Right.
Absolutely. And I like what you're saying about local businesses, how they've grown, and that's really a key in this conference, is we have a lot of local business owners, and we want to see them flourish, not get,
swept away,
non-existent due to change or larger businesses coming in. Because we have grown, it is attracting large big box, I think they call them, businesses. So that's great that you have seen, and I as well, with local business owners growing and flourishing. So what kind of challenges do you see face our local business owners with change?
Well, change is always difficult because change means typically it means giving something up. And and I think sometimes the biggest challenge in change is to change when we're doing well. If your business or your organization is doing well, the temptation is to keep things exactly the way that they are. But sometimes you can see changes happening on the horizon, changes out in our culture and the world around us. And when business and organizations do not adapt to that, we have great examples with big businesses like Sears or Blockbuster. I read a deal 2 or 3 years ago. I found out that Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and I think that's so interesting because they thought that they kind of had the corner on the market. They thought this little company that's sending videos through the mail, it's never going to make it, and obviously they were wrong. But they had invested a lot in the brick and mortar stores, and that had worked for them, and they'd been very successful with it. And so I think sometimes success is almost the detriment to change, because you don't, if your business has a great thing going, it's growing, all of that. The temptation is just to keep things the way that they are.
Yeah. Business is coming.
And if things begin, and if things begin to slow down, then also the temptation is to just kind of double our efforts in what we've already done, and rather than saying, okay, maybe we need to change something. Maybe there's a different way of doing this. And obviously over the last 10, 20 years, our culture, the world around us has changed so drastically that, businesses, organizations, and for me, most of my adult life has been spent in, my business has been church. And I think that creates even some greater challenges in the sense of change, because when you begin to change things in a church setting,
a lot of traditions are
and the traditions become, for lack of a better word, the best way I can say it is those things become sacred, and we begin to think that, okay, if we mess with that, we're messing with something that is sacred, and so it makes change even more
of a challenge.
And I also think that sometimes in the world, people, all of us can become overwhelmed with change, and so if the church is kind of staying the same, it's almost like our little security blanket,
safe place. Yep.
And safe from change. But the bad side of that is that when we don't change, is that then the younger generation comes along, and they don't accept things just because we say that's the way it should be, and we lose them because we don't adapt to different forms, different. I heard someone say one time, for the church at least, with our message, we have a message that should not change. So it's kind of like you marry a message. You only date a method, meaning you don't make a commitment to the method because the method can change. Nowadays, people can watch church services on, you can watch any number of church services on your iPad on Sunday morning. You can, all of us, we can download all the best of music. We can all listen to podcasts of some great speakers. And so to me, I have to, when it pertains to the church, I look at it that, okay, what can we do that people can't get through those forms? And I think it's relationships. And I think right now in the world, I think whether it's business, church, other organizations, it does become about the relationships that, you don't get that by watching online or, listening to a podcast, whatever. So I think that's one of the things the church can make sure that we can provide him.
Relationships.
Yeah,
that's got to be a challenge. And I know with even just normal communication, for me to communicate simply with my young 20s late teens, it's a Snapchat hello.
Yeah.
With my mom, I'm lucky to do some video chatting with her. And so just communicating and building those relationships, I'm sure, is extremely challenging.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the conference is all about, is to get you, because you're constantly in the day-to-days.
Yes.
That you are doing, you're surviving, and it's hard to take that time to think about moving forward. One of our speakers for the men's conference is going to be, he's from TCU, Mike Sherrod, and he is going to be speaking about planning and forecasting change. We also have speakers that are going to be talking about resisting change as well.
Yes, we all deal with that sometimes too.
Yes, and we have another great speaker coming from the Abilene area. He is the winningest coach for, let me make sure I didn't write down the team, one of the universities, and he coached 33 years for a women's basketball team. So imagine the team changeover that he has. Yeah. So constant change, and what does it take to have successful teams? Because as businesses, we have teams of individuals. How do they work together best?
Right.
Constantly change to their methods, to their language.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great lineup at the Men's Legacy Conference.
Yes.
Is there anything
Sounds
else?
Good.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, or how can people find out more about Northside Baptist Church?
Well, they can check out our website, which is nsbcweatherford.com. So go to the website, check out. It's got service times. It's got information about all the different ministries. There is a multitude of ministries to get involved in, to connect with. There's things for your kids, teenagers, young adults. There's Northside is very involved in the community. We help with places like Center of Hope, Manna, Grace House. So there's an unlimited amount of, we have 2 services on Sunday morning, one's at 9:30, one's at 11. We also, during both of those hours, there's Sunday school classes for every age group, every different interest that you might have. Also have a lot of Bible studies on Wednesday night. So there's a plethora of things to do and be involved in. So yes, check us out.
Cool. And you can also find them on the Men's Legacy Conference website on our partner page. You can scroll down, find their logo, click on the logo, go straight to their website. So it's great that there's a way that people can see our partners and then find out more about you. Is there anything you'd like to say to encourage people, businessmen, to come to the men's conference?
I think it's great. I've been the last 2 years. Well, I guess that's how many times you've had it, right?
Yeah, this is the 3rd year.
And been to both of them, and both days I felt like it was time well spent. Last year we talked about things like your communication styles and things like that. And I'm looking forward to this one because I think to talk about how to deal with change, it's something all of us are having to think about. And so I think that's very pertinent, and I think that'll be great. And so guys, it's a great half day and a great opportunity to connect with some other great businessmen and business leaders, and so I think you will not regret taking the time to do it.
Nice, thank you. All right. Well, this is our invitation to you to join us Friday, October 18th. As Curtis said, it's just a half-day event, so you can totally maximize your time. We have 5 speakers, light breakfast, great lunch, so you're fed and you have everything that you need to fill into you, to empower you and help you in learning how to manage change and move forward, because you are a business leader in our community. You need to be in the room. All of the information that you can find for the Men's Legacy Conference is at the website, menslegacyconference.com. Made it simple. Registration is $89. So we hope that you will join us. And thank you again, Curtis, with Northside Baptist Church, for being a partner.
Well, thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you in the room at the Men's Legacy Conference. Take care. Bye.
Bye.